families of the victims of the September 11th terror attacks are pressing the Biden administration to oppose a proposed plea deal for the men the government believes are responsible for that day. They sent a letter to the White House after being notified that plea deals were being considered for the 5 accused of planning out the attacks, including alleged mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. CBS News reports the proposed deal would see them accept criminal responsibility in exchange for not receiving the death penalty. For more, we're now joined by Mike Baker. He spent nearly 2 decades as a CIA covert operations officer and is now the CEO of global intelligence and security firm Portman Square Group. Thank you so much, Mike, for being with us here. I think there are a lot of Americans who are likely surprised and appalled by this, that it's been nearly 22 years. We still haven't even set a trial date for these suspects. I mean, how is that even possible for the deadliest terror attack we've seen on American soil?
Yeah, I mean, think about the way that the families of those who died on that day are feeling at this point after all these years, to find out that the military prosecutors and the defense lawyers for these individuals have been in conversations for about 1.5 years now, talking about potential pretrial agreements. Now, you know, they haven't moved that ball very far down the road, but they are talking about it in order to remove the death penalty off the table. You use the word appalled, outraged, amazed. It's a little bit surreal when you think about the fact that this is still going on after all these years.
Yeah, and my other thought and question when hearing of these potential plea deals and the 9/11 families receiving that notification from the Department of Justice, I believe, and I know you're not a lawyer, but why in the world would America ever negotiate in this area? I mean, not only is that insulting, but it makes the country look weak, yes?
Yes, is the short answer. Look, the problem here is that there's been they have basically, the defense lawyers have been saying ever since these individuals were put into Guantanamo and went through, and people are going to have to recall this, but remember the debate and furor over the interrogation program. So because of that, that's essentially what the defense lawyers have hung their hat on, is saying that information gathered in those early stages of the war on terror, right? You know, that's what they're saying. This is why we have to pursue these pretrial agreements, because we think, you know, essentially information was tainted at the outset. But honestly, I mean, I don't know how else to say this, but these individuals should have been tried, convicted by this military tribunal, and sentenced to death a long time ago.
Yeah, I think even outside the 9/11 families who want, I can't imagine the newfound level of grief that this must bring, but also just for Americans who are saying, bring on a public trial, bring on the death penalties.
Right.
The victims' families say the plea deals would allow the U.S. to continue to withhold information about Saudi Arabia's possible role in assisting the 9/11 hijackers. What do we still not know, Mike, about the role, if any, that the Saudi government had in those attacks?
Yeah, you raise a really important point, because that is a complex part of this whole process. And what we don't know, well, how long's a piece of string? We really, you know, it's a unanswerable question, because they have been obfuscating over the years, and we don't really have the full insight or intelligence into what potential role members of the Saudi government may have played in all of this. So look, again, I think there's an issue here about moving this into civilian courts. Initially, there was talk about doing that during the Obama administration, but there was significant pushback. In part because of the concerns over security and the related costs of that, and what that might mean for the trial in potentially New York City. So, but again, you go back to the sort of the emotive, visceral reaction that family members have when they open that letter and they look and go, oh, we're doing a plea deal after all these years.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, they're calling on President Biden to prioritize their loved ones' interests. I'm curious, though, if after 22 years, no answer has come, if we're going to see any sort of answer come in this administration or maybe the next. Mike Baker, thank you so much for your input on this one. Terribly frustrating for Americans.
Take care.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.